Section 1 of Fantasy, Fairies and Ghosts. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Sandra. Fantasy, Fairies and Ghosts by Fairies. Section 1. Cross Purposes. Chapter 1. Once upon a time, the Queen of Fairyland, finding her own subjects far too well behaved to be amusing, took a sudden longing to have a mortal or two at her court. So after looking about her for some time, she fixed upon 2 to bring to Fairyland. But how were they to be brought? "Please, your Majesty," said at last the daughter of the Prime Minister, "I will bring the girl." The speaker, whose name was Peaseblossom, after her great-great-grandmother, looked so graceful and hung her head so apologetically that the Queen said at once, "How will you manage it, Peaseblossom?" "I will open the road before her and close it behind her." "I have heard that you have pretty ways of doing things, so you may try." The court happened to be held in an open forest glade of smooth turf, upon which there was just one mole heap. As soon as the Queen had given her permission to Peaseblossom, up through the mole heap came the head of a goblin, which cried out, "Please, your Majesty, I will bring the boy." "You!" exclaimed the Queen. "How will you do it?" The goblin began to wriggle himself out of the earth, as if he had been a snake, and the whole whirled his skin, till the court was convulsed with laughter. As soon as he got free, he began to roll over and over in every possible manner, rotatory and cylindrical, all at once, until he reached the wood. The courtiers followed, holding their sides, so that the Queen was left sitting upon her throne in solitary state. When they reached the wood, the goblin, whose name was Toadstool, was nowhere to be seen. While they were looking for him, out popped his head from the mole heap again, with the words, "So, your Majesty?" "You have taken your own time to answer," said the Queen, laughing. "And my own way too, eh, your Majesty?" rejoined Toadstool, grinning. "No doubt. Well, you may try." And the goblin, making as much of a bow as he could with only half his neck above ground, disappeared under it. End of section 1. Section 2 of Fantasy, Fairies and Ghosts by Fairies. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Cross Purposes. Chapter 2. No mortal, or fairy either, can tell where Fairyland begins and where it ends. But somewhere on the borders of Fairyland there was a nice country village, in which lived some nice country people. Alice was the daughter of the squire, a pretty, good-natured girl, whom her friends called fairy-like, and others called silly. One rosy summer evening, when the wall opposite her bed was flaked all over with rosiness, she threw herself down on her bed and lay gazing at the wall. The rose colour sank through her eyes and dyed her brain, and she began to feel as if she were reading a story-book. She thought she was looking at a western sea, with the waves all red with sunset. But when the colour died out, Alice gave a sigh, to see how commonplace the wall grew. "I wish it was always sunset," she said, half aloud. "I don't like grey things." "I will take you where the sun is always setting, if you like, Alice," said a sweet tiny voice near her. She looked down on the coverlet of the bed, and there, looking up at her, stood a lovely little creature. It seemed quite natural that the little lady should be there, for many things we never could believe have only to happen, and then there is nothing strange about them. She was dressed in white, with a cloak of sunset red, the colours of the sweetest of sweet peas.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?